Welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping right into a fascinating narrative from the Bible, specifically the parable of the workers. We're going to unpack the profound implications of how we view fairness and contrast that with God's unmerited favor. Look, if you're a college student navigating a hyper-competitive environment, or honestly, just anyone trying to balance hard work and grace, the key findings we're looking at today are absolutely going to shift your perspective.
Let's kick things off with the foundational verse for this whole explainer, Matthew 20:15. It says, "Don't I have the right to do what I want with my own money? Or are you envious because I am generous?" Right out of the gate, Jesus challenges our natural human sense of fairness. He's telling a story here that deliberately pushes back against literally everything our brains are wired to expect when it comes to effort and reward.
To tackle this, we're going to outline the big picture first, and then dive into the details. We'll look at trusting God's grace, compare human merit versus grace, figure out how to guard against bitter envy, break down some actionable steps for your daily life, and then wrap up with a final reflection.
So, part 1, trust God's grace. This really sets up the main argument and the central theme we're analyzing today.
Before we dive into the specific theology here, let's establish a little historical context. In the first century agrarian world of the Bible, day laborers completely relied on being hired daily by a landowner just to survive. So in this narrative, Jesus describes a landowner who hires workers at various points throughout the day. Some start at the crack of dawn, others way later. But here's the kicker. When it's time to pay up, the landowner pays every single worker the exact same wage. Naturally, the guys who sweated it out all day felt this was totally unfair, while the latecomers got this crazy, unexpected generosity. This instantly challenges our ingrained sense of fairness and sets the stage for a much deeper revelation about exactly how the Father operates.
Which brings us to part 2, human merit versus God's grace. Let's compare and contrast the two completely different worldview theories presented in this text.
This comparison brilliantly illustrates the core conflict. On one hand, you have the human system of merit. In this system, blessings and rewards are strictly earned by effort, time, and, well, a sense of entitlement. You work more, you get more. Makes sense to us, right? But on the other hand, you have the kingdom system of grace, where blessings are given entirely by God's unmerited generosity. The workers who toiled all day, they actually received exactly what they were promised, but they got furious when they saw the landowner's grace applied to others. They were operating on a human system, but the Father operates his kingdom purely by grace.
So the crucial takeaway here is understanding this specific definition of grace. It's a gift from God that we receive without deserving or earning it through our own efforts. Drawing heavily on Reformed Calvinism theology, the main argument here is that His grace is fundamentally not based on human effort. We cannot earn His blessings through our own striving. Period. Everything we receive from Him is a sovereign gift. He is entirely generous, and that generosity isn't some paycheck for our hard work. It's a testament to His nature.
All right, part 3, guarding against bitter envy. Now that we've got a handle on this unearned grace, we have to examine the emotional trap those early workers fell right into.
What's really fascinating here is how this exposes the human heart. Remember the landowner asking, "Are you envious because I am generous?" When we fixate on what others have, envy literally blinds us to the grace He has already given us. Comparing ourselves to others just breeds immediate bitterness. I mean, think about the implications of this for college students right now. It is so incredibly easy to compare your GPA, your internship offers, or even your social life with your peers. You might look around and think, hey, I worked way harder. I deserve more than that guy who just coasted by. But the moment you compare your journey to someone else's, you completely miss the goodness in your own life. Remember, God's generosity toward others absolutely does not take away from His goodness to you. It is not a zero-sum game.
Moving on to part 4, steps to live it out. Understanding the theology is great, but we really need to break down the step-by-step process described here so you can actually apply this stuff daily.
To overcome that natural human tendency of merit-based thinking, you've got to follow this specific process. Step 1. Actively let go of comparing your journey with others. Your path is uniquely yours. Step 2. Remember that everything you have from the Father is a gift of grace. You didn't earn the breath in your lungs, and you definitely can't earn His ultimate blessings. And step 3. Consciously choose gratitude instead of entitlement. Entitlement says, I deserve this because of my effort, while gratitude says, thank you for this unmerited gift. If you're stressing out right now about where you stand compared to your peers, intentionally walking through these 3 steps will radically alter your perspective.
And the process continues with a strategy to directly guard your heart against envy.
Step 1 here is to intentionally celebrate God's blessings in other people's lives. When a classmate lands that top-tier job, celebrate them. Rejoicing in his generosity to others literally breaks the power of envy. Step 2, check your heart the exact second comparison or jealousy bubbles up. You've got to catch it early. And step 3, redirect your focus right back to God's faithfulness in your own unique journey. By constantly refocusing on what He has done for you, you slam the door shut on bitterness.
Finally, Part 5, a final reflection. We've explored the massive difference between human merit and God's unmerited grace.
To wrap this up with a clear conclusion of the research we've unpacked, I want to leave you with a final provocative thought. Ask yourself, when have you felt like something was totally unfair, and how did it actually affect your perspective? Did it make you bitter, or did it teach you something about grace? And more importantly, how can you consciously choose gratitude and trust in God's unmerited grace today instead of falling into that toxic trap of comparison this week? Take these questions with you, examine your own heart, and just remember, trusting His grace changes absolutely everything.